Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and today we're talking about a different kind of topic tonight because we're going to be talking about, do the Vancouver Canucks need more Swedish players on their roster? Now, there is always conversation when it comes to the Vancouver Canucks and the nationality conversation. So tonight we're going to be talking about the race conversation for sure. We're going to be talking about our current roster and possibly the desire to have more Swedes, to draft or acquire more Swedish players. And can Swedish players win the Stanley Cup? Okay, we're going to dive into that. I hope that you're here and ready for this conversation. And just a reminder, if you like Canucks content that is passionate, realistic, and honest, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. So let's dive in. We love the Vancouver Canucks, right? We love the Vancouver Canucks. And part of that is we have literally been, over the years, a destination where Swedish players have been drafted, developed, traded for. If you go to Sweden, I'm sure, and I've never been to Sweden yet, so if you go to Sweden and you see, like, what's the number one selling jersey of the NHL there? It's got to be the Vancouver Canucks, right? Like this Orca or the black skate or the white skate, whatever skate jersey you have, like there's got to be, all kinds of jerseys out there because this team traditionally has had the most Swedish players. Now, our current general manager is from Sweden. Patrick Alvin, right? And so a lot of people get frustrated and say when we're losing, we're like, hey, we need more Canadians, or we need more Americans, or we need more, whatever. And it's usually those two. It's like we need more Canadians, or we need more American teams or North American players. And I understand what they're trying to say is a lot of the North American players play with grit, play a tenacious game. But there are some incredible, and I'm talking about incredible Swedish players who are currently playing and have played in the NHL that we as Canuck fans would have loved to have them on our teams. We've had a number of great ones on our team as well. So let's talk about the race conversation. Okay, let's talk about the race conversation. Okay, so I do have a hard time with it just saying Swedish players equal weak and soft players. I disagree with that statement. There are certain kinds of Swedish players that seem to be softer or a little bit more prone to fall down when they're hit. But there's some real tough Swedish players out there and on our own roster. And so I don't like the race conversation. There isn't like, get more Canadians and you will win the Stanley Cup. It's like, or get more North Americans. Maybe that's the answer. But let's be honest. The rest of the world has caught up to Canada. Look at Team Canada in this tournament, for example. We just barely beat Latvia. We lost to Latvia last year. Okay, we lost to Latvia last year. This year, guys, we won 2-1 in overtime because they took a penalty and we capitalized on that. They could have, you mess around, you find out, right? So that's what's happening. The rest of the world's caught up. I mean, Team Finland just spanked that same team, and it was insane. Like, I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly, because because if you look at it, Finland beat Latvia 8-0. 8-0. So we just barely beat Latvia. Maybe this team that we have right now isn't that good. We weren't good last year, and I believe not the year before for the World Juniors. The rest of the world won. Now, USA has developed incredible hockey players. So you're looking at, Will Smith and, just start naming, like you start Leonard. There's so many great NHL players who've just recently come out. Now, you still have the Celebrinis, the Bedards. You've got some of these, obviously, some of those other players. And we're talking now about Gavin McKenna. We're talking about Verhoff. We're talking about who's another one that's on the roster. I feel like I'm missing another one. But there's a whole bunch of Canadians that are super talented and should go high in the draft this season. But is it just draft Canadians and then we win? I don't think it's that simple. For example, some of the best players we've ever had in our franchise from Sweden, the Twins. Guys, that was such an awesome draft year for us, because not only did we get the second and third pick and pick the Twins, who turned out to be super amazing for us, some of the best players we've ever had, like those were the two best picks in the first round. The next two best picks were in the seventh round. Erat and someone else. There's someone else in the seventh round, seventh round. Because the draft doesn't necessarily, and you don't know who's going to pan out and who's not going to pan out. There's so many busts in the NHL. But here's the interesting thing about Sweden: is they have a pro league. The SHL or the Swedish Elite League. Like these guys, they're playing. These boys are playing with men already. They're developing very well. They have incredible skill sets. So just because someone's on Team Finland or Team Sweden or Team, whatever. Team Russia. Wish they were in those things. I understand all the politics, and I don't want to get into that today. But listen, the best player, in my opinion, that ever wore a Canucks jersey was from Russia. You can argue that the Twins are the best players to ever play for the Vancouver Canucks. Of course, you have your Linden and, Kirk McLean and all these other players. Of course, like these guys are grit and amazing. Don't get me wrong, but Naslund, Edler has the most games played as a Canucks defenseman in our league's history. Like the idea that just because you're from Sweden means that you're not going to win a Stanley Cup. Listen, when we played Boston, we should have won that. We were so injured. Raymond had broke his back. We were so depleted, and all we needed to do is win one more game. Guess who we had in net? A Canadian, Luongo, who we love and cherish, but around the league was known as letting in the soft goals, right? So, like this is what I'm talking about here. This is the crazy conversation that people have. And so I do want to get into the conversation regarding this draft and who we should be picking up and all those kinds of things, right? But we're talking about should we add more Swedes? The answer is maybe, possibly, depends who it is. Because right now, the Canucks currently have 8 Swedish players on their roster. And I just quickly Googled it. And where did it go? Last year, let's go up here. It says for the 2025-2026 NHL season, while specific team counts vary, teams like the Minnesota Wild, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Detroit Red Wings and those hosting the global series like the Predators and Penguins often feature many Swedes, with the Wild historically having a strong Swedish contingent. That's what it's saying. So let's just quickly, I just want to show you some players, okay? Some players that are playing right now in the NHL, okay? We're going to do top 10 Swedes in the NHL right today, okay? So this is, Matthew Zador wrote this October 22nd, 2025. This is on the hockeywriters.com. Okay. And this is his take. Okay. Make sure that you can see all this. Yeah, you can see all this. So, okay, so Zibanejad, right? Zibanejad is there. He's fantastic. Gustafsson, the goalie for Minnesota. Victor Hedman's been an absolute stud over the years. Dahlin, what did he go? Number 1 overall, number 2 overall? I think it was first overall by the Sabres in 2018. He's fantastic, right? Raquel, Pittsburgh Penguins, Kempe for the LA Kings. He's been an amazing player in the NHL. Phil Forsberg has been a force in the NHL. By the way, I don't agree with this top 10 list, but just shows Lucas Raymond, which a lot of us Canuck fans would love to have. He's been fantastic. Oh, of course, William Nylander for the Toronto Maple Leafs, phenomenal. And then Jasper Bratt. I would put Nylander ahead of Bratt, but these are Swedish players. And you're saying to me, sorry, RevTrev, don't want them because they're from Sweden? That makes zero sense. Right? So just something to think about, everyone. That's something to think about. Now, currently we have 8 Swedish players, and I'll show you which ones they are. Elias Pettersson, which is number 40, right? Because there's 2 of them. Elias Pettersson, number 25, our defenseman, young defenseman. Marcus Pettersson, Linus Karlsson, Tom Villander, Niels Höglander, Liam Ogren, and Jonathan. I count Jonathan Lecker-Mackey. You know what I mean? So that's something to think about. Also playing for Abbotsford, you could probably put Lecker-Mackey down there for right now because he is. But Vilmer Ulriksson and then Niels Åhman are both from Sweden as well. So, but when you talk about the race card, when you talk about, by the way, there's 70 comments in here. This is craziness. By the way, it's not who has the best North Americans or Canadians on the team. It's like the team that gels the best. Like think about Tampa Bay has been very successful over the years, right? Hedman's been one of those Swedish players, but Kucherov's from Russia. I mean, Vasilevsky, I think he's a Russian goaltender. Like it just because they're not Canadian and they're winning the cup. They're winning the cup. Now, Braden Point's a Canadian guy, obviously, right? But obviously Florida has a number of Canadian players on their roster with Tkachuk, Marchand, all those, names like that, right? But you can't just say A plus B equals C, right? Like it's not like Swedish or Canadian players equals cups. No, you can't just blankly say that. Now, what it comes down to is which kind of Swedish players do you get? See, there's a difference between Peter Forsberg and Elias Pettersson. Like, let's just be honest. Peter Forsberg, absolute superstar. I want that guy on my team. He's a warrior. Ulf Samuelsson, a warrior, went to battle every night. Whether you liked him or not, he went to battle, right? And so that is the thing that I want to just kind of push back a little bit and say, there's a big difference between Forsberg and EP40. There's a huge difference. So it depends on what you want to say. Now I'm going to get into your comments in just a second, but just a couple more things. I just wanted to bring up. Let's stop sharing that, and let's go to. For example, do the Canucks need more Swedes? Well, we're having the conversation right now as we're last place in the NHL, not because we have too many Swedes. We have too many injuries, in my opinion. But maybe you believe that we have too many Swedes. That's why we are last place. I think the conversation that we're having is who would we draft if we got first or overall pick? Are we going to go with Gavin McKenna, who's from Whitehorse, Yukon, Canadian boy? Are we going with Verhoff, who's another Canadian kid who's only 17-year-old defenseman? Or are you going to go with Ivan Stenberg, right? Ivan Stenberg. And I want to show you, like, this kid is absolutely fantastic, okay? So as you look at his stats, okay? So he's 18 years old. He's 6 foot, 181 pounds, shoots left. He can play on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. He's a cerebral tactician. He's a dangler. He's a playmaker. Look at the consensus rankings, right? Like, for the most part, he's top 2, top 3, hands down going to go in the top 3. Okay. This kid is phenomenal. Have you watched him play in the tournament? Watch him play. There's a lot of people that would rather pick Stenberg over Gavin McKenna. And rightly so. In fact, when I'm looking at this roster, I'm like, maybe that's the kid we should be going after. Everyone wants to talk about Gavin, and he's a talented young man. And I'm not saying we shouldn't draft him. What I'm saying is, I'm just making sure that I'm getting tons of messages right now, which sometimes means your mic's not on, RevTrev. Okay. But there's a difference, right? Stenberg might be the guy that we should be drafting because he can play both wings, and he's more of a scorer, and he's more of, like, he's not just a playmaker like McKenna is. That is something to consider. That is definitely something to consider. So I want to dive into your comments. That's just something that has been kind of eating away at me. And whenever people come into my streams and say, you know what, you should be drafting, we should draft more Canadians, which I'm fine with drafting Canadians. There's nothing. I don't dislike Canada. I don't dislike the United States. I want those kind of players on my team. Don't get me wrong. But the way that they play, I get it. Playoff style hockey. But I'm not counting out Swedish players because they're from Sweden. Because some of them, like maybe Stenberg, is just a superstar that you just need to have on your roster. So if you ask me right now, RevTrev, who should you pick at number 1 if the Canucks end up getting that pick, which we never have had one yet? I would say I would probably lean Stenberg over McKenna, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it's clearly McKenna, but I've seen polls now that are saying McKenna should be number 4. So just something to think about. I'm not a draft expert. I'm just saying this kid might end up being better than McKenna or Verhoff or whoever, right? Let's, like, if he turns into the next Forsberg, that's pretty good. Naslund was pretty good for us, just saying. So I think you need a mixture of players. There's like Latvian players are playing well this year. Finnish players are playing well. Americans always seem to play well now, so just something to think about. Okay. I want to dive in to your comments. I know that this is controversial. Let's get into this, and then we'll go from there. Okay. We'll go from there. So I'm going to hit the promo, and I'm going to dive into your comments. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. All right, so first person here is Russell from Nothing is Perfect. Fantastic person. Does great Canucks content. Everyone hit the like and subscribe for him as well. Okay, so let's scroll down to people are saying they don't like Christmas or do like Christmas. Yeah, two streams in one day. Yeah, I know. I've got issues, right? I got issues. So this morning, what did I do this morning? Should we trade Elias Pettersson? I mean, of all people, like, maybe that's the Swede we should be trading, right? Thank you so much for remembering that. This is my new hat that my son bought me for Christmas, and I absolutely love it. Got it at Lids if you want to know. Also, if you want to buy a Kempner Canucks hat, they come in the dark blue, the black with the yellow and red. This one's awesome as well. Then we've got this Kempner Canucks one, and I've gotten a new red one for Team Canada for Olympics. Let me know. And just a heads up, I know I turned this into a promo. My apologies, everyone. But I mean, it's a shameless plug, man. I support your content creator. So just email me at kempnercanucks@gmail.com, and I'd love to send you one. They're $45 each. They're all snapbacks. So they fit everyone. So, but thank you for noticing this hat, and I really do like it a lot. I do like it a lot. Okay. Soren says the Canucks need more Swedes like McDonald's needs more French fries. Okay. Yeah, Doodle, 2 streams in one day. That's what I'm. Yeah, I'm crazy. Jack, is the more Swedes include Stenberg? Yes. That's why I made this video. If so, yes, please. That guy's generational. That's what if he is? What if he is, man? Doodle says my channel is like 90% tank watching these days. I know. That's why we're talking about Stenberg. That's why we're talking about McKenna. Settled Downs here says the race talk with Kempner was not on my bingo card today, but here you are, and it's an interesting conversation, right? So, Adam Foote is the perfect tank commander. It's awesome. Okay, Doctor. Yes, says to me, Swedish player is better than American player a lot. At least Swedish players will not demand trade from Vancouver. Woof. It's got the Quinn Hughes anger going on there. I understand. Green says, could we somehow get Outland out of Buffalo? He is the third piece of that sick Swedish line pre-draft. Leckermäki, Ogren, Outsland. Is that how you say it? Outsplan? Maybe for Garland, maybe add a pick. Buffalo. See, this is the point. There's some really talented players, right? Darren, just like I said, Peter Forsberg, he was dang good, right? Like so. And Michael says Henrik Sedin was tough. He had the tip of a finger amputated rather than wait for it to heal properly. Like nobody talks about that. I didn't even know that until right now. That's crazy. Marcus says, I don't care as long as they can play hockey. We just need better hockey players, whatever country they're from. I agree. Plus, we need size, and I mean EPD. Yeah, so Elias Pettersson is a Swede. He's big. He's physical. I like watching him play. He hits people, right? Green likes Stenberg for sure. Invisible says, don't forget race. Can't handle pressure day in, day out with media putting points up consistently. We don't even know what we have, at least you don't. Okay, you're talking about. I mean, Pettersson, I get it. Like people call him soft, they call him Bambi, they call him all things, but he's been better this year, right? And hopefully he's turned things around. We'll see. But he's obviously a super talented hockey player. He's got elite level skill sets for sure, but I get why people would like to trade him or don't want him on the team anymore. They don't know if they're going to be able to win a cup with Pettersson. I mean, those are fair comments, right? So maybe they're unfair, but it's people's opinions. So Darren says, yes, there have been some great Swedish players that weren't soft. It wasn't Porter Matone. Has he been drafted yet? I think he has, if I remember. I think because Misa has been drafted already. Yes, Marcus Nadeslund was an absolute stud. Jack says, I don't care what country they're from if they're good. Draft good players. That's basically the premise of this video is this right now, right? This comment right here. So Zetterberg was a superstar, right? Who wouldn't have wanted? You know what? When Zetterberg and Datsuk was playing Detroit, you know how many times people said, trades the Twins to get Zetterberg and Datsuk. You know what I mean? One Russian and one Swedish player, you know? I can care less, Doodle. Jacob says, where people are from, create the best possible team with high character players. I can't forget Olin and Edler, right? For sure. Can't forget them. As for second and third pick, you better pick the best player at 2 and 3. Absolutely. Thomas Gerdine was a great player for us. Green says talent is talent. Exactly. Thomas Holstrom was a tough character. Nationality Doesn't matter if you're a good player. So true. It's also being consistent as a pro. I'm with you guys. We need more skill. I could care less where they're from. Rossi is an Austrian, and I think that's great. Get good players. I'm with you. But the knock on Pedersen and Rossi is that they're small. They're small. They're small centers, and that's difficult. And so, yeah. Thank you so much, Russ, for gifting one Kempner Canucks membership. If you want to get a Canucks membership, go onto my YouTube channel, and I'll just show you right here. Where is it? It's right here. So this is an old picture now, but if you go to that thing underneath my name, Kempner Canucks, there's that subscribed and join. Hit the join button, or I believe the community button, and it'll get you to an option to get a Canucks membership. Now, Nothing is Perfect has done the wonderful thing and has done the whole what do you call it? Gifted it to someone else. Okay, he gifted it to someone else. So, by the way, this is a picture to would be my right. I think it would be your left. Maybe it's your left. I don't know. It depends. This is a picture of Stenberg. That's why I posted him in this. This is why I wanted to bring up this video for everyone. But thank you so much for gifting that. And Coach Rob Willie's in the building saying, hype for Nothing is Perfect for gifting a membership. And Doctor got it. Doctor, yes, got the membership. So now you can post the emojis in there. They're awesome. Okay. Jack says, Boric is very good too. I love that player. We have his brother too. Exactly. I'd take that Stenberg kid if McKenna wasn't available. I mean, some people might take Stenberg over McKenna. That's a key piece, right? So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I got you, Doctor. Thanks, Russell, for doing that and blessing someone this Christmas season, or happy holidays. I don't know, it's Christmas, New Year's, I think. What do you say? I will just say happy holidays. Green says, personally, I'd take Americans last. Most of them want to play in the States anyways. That's fair. That's fair. Peter Forsberg was a beast and one of my all-time favorites, tough as nails. Settle Down Now says Stenberg is better than McKenna from what the little I've seen. Can I get some Canadian culture carriers further down the lines? I think it's good to have some in the room to help guys understand the passionate fan base. That's good. That's a good one. When the American made impact in Canucks, all they want is back to the U.S. like Kessler, Miller, and Hughes. I think we're going to agree to disagree. I'm not mad at Quinn Hughes because he got traded to an American team, guys. There's only how many Canadian teams, and there's nothing wrong. If a Canadian player wants to play in Canada, there's nothing wrong with that. And if an American player wants to play in America, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So, but I get it. I get it. People are upset, ticked off, frustrated. Yeah, I get it. I just need to make sure. I got this feet warmer thing down here that my wife bought me last year for Christmas, and I always forget to use it, and my feet are freezing down here in my office. So, Rome is in the building for the Olympics. Most of Team Sweden will probably be comprised of Canucks. Maybe. But are the best ones Canucks? I don't think they are. So, Russell, being a member for 13 months, don't forget to like and subscribe to Kempner Canucks. That's very kind of you to say. Jack says Stenberg is literally on pace for the SHL record. Yes, Forsberg and the Sedins included. There's a good chance he might be the best Swede in the league pretty soon. This is Linus Karlsson era. Sure. I don't know. What does that mean? I'm not sure, Michael. But he's been playing good for us, right? Tyler wants to talk about, DeBrusk got scratched due to being a Canadian. No. He's been underperforming. That's right. And so he's been scratched for next game. He's ticked off about it. They're trying to light a fire under his butt. He's got to play better. Okay, Green says Stenberg is my choice if we have it. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is what I'm saying. I only want Höglander and Pettersson to be gone. The rest are fine. Yeah, a lot of people like Marcus Pettersson. I mean, I've been a huge Höglander fan. He's just hasn't bounced back from his injury like I'd hoped. We've got the non-winning Swedes, Tyler says. Yeah, I forgot about Lidstrom. Guys, they were talking about one of the greatest defensemen of all time is definitely from Sweden, right? Jack says Stenberg is like Kucherov. McKenna is like Patrick Kane. Depends what kind of guy you want. I don't think they're the same. McKenna isn't like Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane is a goal scorer, and McKenna, to me, as I've been watching him, he's more of a passer. But maybe I'm wrong. I mean, he's young. Like, he's got time to develop. So maybe he is going to be a Patrick Kane. Depends what kind of guy you want. I'll take either. And yeah, I'd take either one of those guys and I'd be happy. Rome's in the building. Swedes seem younger, tougher back in the day. Forsberg, Salming, Lidstrom, Franzen, Zetterberg. Yeah. We have too many middle and bottom six and AHL forwards. Forget the Swedes issue. We lack depth and high-end talent. Green, I couldn't agree more, especially in the forward group. Our young decor looks great, same as in goal. Yep. Angelo's in the building, probably drafted two Ivar Stenberg or Borak. They like their Swedes. I mean, okay, let's get some good ones. I don't care. I don't care where they're from. Stenberg plays in the dirty areas. McKenna seems to be more perimeter. I'd also probably take Lawrence over McKenna since he's a center. Okay, see? I think this is good content, guys. 124 people here at almost 11 p.m. Pacific time. This is incredible. Honestly, I don't think it matters which one. Both are franchise players, in my opinion. Both will be superstars and probably the two wingers in the league in a few years. Okay. Top two, are you thinking? Michael says, could have had Willie Nylander or Ehlers if they hadn't gone for a good old Canadian boy, Jake Virtanen. That was an epic fail. It's like, oh, draft the Canadian boy. He did not pan out. Yeah, Stenberg looked good today. I still want McKenna, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with drafting McKenna. Go for it. I'm just saying, but maybe he's not the best player possible, right? I wish there was a big center to draft first overall. Yes. This is the problem that we have for sure. Jack says, KG, that's a dangerous game, bro. Always BPA, especially when we're rebuilding. Best player available. Okay. I know. I think what he wants is the best player available. Swervin Irvin says Mike Gillis was going to draft Dylan Larkin in 2024, but then he got fired. I like Tennant's game overall better than McKenna. Tennant's game over than I don't know who Tennant's is. Is that the center that you were talking about? But I hear you, he says. Okay. Oh, Tyrant. Okay. What happened? If we don't get a top 3 pick. I mean, you just pick the best player available, right? Who did we draft in 2014? I mean, that's a quick Google search, right? 2014 NHL draft. Let's just go there and let's do this. Here we go. I'll bring it up right now. Bring this up, and here we are. So, Ekblad went number 1. Reinhardt, Canadian boy. Dreisaitl's from Germany. Sam Bennett's Canadian. Virtanen. So we got Virtanen at 6. Hayden Fleury, didn't really pan out. He played 300 games, but we're talking 44 points. Nylander's obviously been one of the best, right? Ehlers was behind him. Fila, Richie, Larkin was at 15. There was some Alex Tuck. There's some decent players here, guys. Pasternak, holy smokes. Can you imagine if we got that guy instead? David Pasternak went 25. We end up getting Jared McCann. We could have had, guys, think about this, Nylander and Pasternak or Kempe. Wow. That just shows it right there. Give me some more Swedes, everyone. That was unbelievable. Oh, you cannot see that well. Dang it. Why did I do that? Okay, well, I'll bring it back. Yeah, this is what it looks like. So my bad. You couldn't see that. So as you can see, we could have had Nylander instead of Virtanen, and then we could have had Pasternak instead of Jared McCann. Wow. Can you imagine how much our franchise would have changed if that had happened? That's insane. It's insane. First overall pick is not a no-brainer. That isn't the no-brainer pick. People might think a few first overall busts, lots of pressure not to pick the wrong player. True. Angelo says the draft is rigged. You're going to need to do a yellow hat with all this Swede love. Okay. Why? I've got a Canucks stuff. Apparently, we're Team Sweden, everyone. Whose ceiling is way lower? Unplugged. Trev, let me ask you one question. Putting your own Canadian biases aside, if you could draft a team of one nationality, which would it be? Statistically, you would get a better team with all the Canadians. Sure, you could make that argument, but no. But at the end of the day, if you just draft one nationality, you lose. You lose. Because we just showed you right now, if you draft Jake Virtanen, you lose. So just because he's Canadian doesn't mean unplugged. Come on, man. Like, clearly, 2014, there's way, way, way better players that we should have picked. But we picked a Canadian boy who can hit, who could score, played great for the Calgary Hitmen. It was a bust. Don't draft by nationality. Draft by talent, by grit, by desire, by passion to play hockey. Like, I don't know. So yes, if you have to pick one team, you should pick Canadian. But that's not how you win in the NHL. You don't win in the NHL because you only draft Canadians. But I understand what you're doing. A hypothetical. I'm playing with you for a moment there. McKenna's good, really good, but overrated. Green says Chemo. We might have to take a trip to Lids. I like that hat. Oh, dude, this one's pretty nice. Now the problem is they were charging $60 for it. You can get it online right now for like $47.99 on lids.ca, but maybe it's on sale right now. I'm not sure. I know that you have 2 Kempner Canucks hats already, so you don't need another one. So, but Stenberg still my number one. Just saying, I think I'd have to think between Lawrence and McKenna. Yeah, autocorrect sucks for sure. McKenna is a minimum, a top 2 pick. Anyone passing by further, just foolish. Doubting guys that skilled is dumb. Maybe right now people are saying he's 4th. Detroit has Shai Buyam. If we want his brother, there you go. Okay, so Jack says I'd take Stenberg and McKenna over Tyan every single day, but that's just me. What has Swedes won the Canucks? Nothing. I mean, that's a fair comment, right? It's a fair comment, but it's not just Canadians equal cups. It's just not always true. He got beat down to the ice multiple times last night. He hasn't improved. Are we talking about Pettersson now? Mike says, give Pettersson a legit top line player like Stenberg and let him cook. Yeah. Could you imagine? Okay, let's just stop for a moment and just think about this. What if we drafted Stenberg, kept Pettersson, and then you put Ogren, Pettersson, and Stenberg together? Could that be a killer line? Or Lecker-Mackey with that line? Lecker-Mackey, I mean, he's got some skills. I mean, that would be incredible. The Swedish chefs, that's what I would call it. And being Swedish is not a race, it's a nationality. Okay, but it's the race conversation. That's what I'm talking about. It's the race conversation. Just because they're from this nationality or culture or whatever race doesn't mean they're bad or good. Well, granted, Germany over the years haven't had a good enough program, so they're not pumping out. It's like Draisaitl and a couple other players, and that's it, right? So if you want to fill your team with Team Germany, you're going to probably lose, unless you have Draisaitl. But like, who else? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude about Germany. I'm just saying, and in the past, Latvia, it's been terrible, but now they're getting better, so yeah. So, okay, what else? A few more here. To me, it's like taking Ryan Nugent-Hopkins first of all because he's center over Kucherov. Best player available for me. And that's fair. I like that. Grading, number 23. Yeah. They play soft. Some do. Some Swedes play soft hockey. Others don't. If we get Zeev's brother, if that's his brother, Shai Booyam, we could have the narrative of Booyam versus Hughes. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Top 5 scorers are Canadian. I'll take some. Okay, that's fair. That pick in this year's draft, 5th, I believe, will be good. He could solve our lack of size. Probably believe he's like 6'5". Who's that? I need to. Can you text me that one? That'd be great. Get both Booyam boys. Okay. Olin's fight against Iginla was legendary, right? He was tough. Quit talking about former Swedes on the Canucks like they're winners. They were very good. Listen, the Twins were captain material. Naslund, captain material. These guys were phenomenal players. So, and Samuelson was probably the dirtiest player in his day. Him or Claude Lemieux, right? Garland's small. No one calls him soft. Exactly. That only matters if Shai is a superstar. Yeah, I haven't watched him yet. Just because he's last name is William doesn't mean he's going to be great, but maybe he is. Hanga, the Swedish thing has nothing to do with race, skill, toughness. It's a problem because they give bias towards the Swedish players just because they're more comfortable speaking to them in Swedish. Maybe. We don't know that for sure, but it's a good guess. There's nothing wrong with Alvin liking Swedish players. But if you think we get the number 1 overall pick, I would not be shocked if we take Stenberg. And I think even if it's not the Canucks, I think Stenberg has a legitimate shot of going number 1 overall. And if we get it and then we pick him, we're going to be like, oh, see, we're never going to win. People are going to say, we're never going to win a Stanley Cup. We only pick Swedes. Man, maybe Stenberg's the best player in the whole draft. So, realistic and honest is all those former Swedes on the Canucks have won the Canucks nothing. I understand. Only one team makes it. Okay, so let's talk, Martin. Let's talk. Victor Hedman, Swedish player, won a Stanley Cup, multiple Stanley Cups. Zetterberg won Stanley Cups, right? Like Forsberg won Stanley Cups, right? So some of them are current, some of them are older, right? So just because they're Swedish doesn't mean they don't win cups. They do. I have an authentic Nazi jersey. Big fan. Of course, Naslund's awesome. And Chemo, you're Finnish, right? You know, Finns and Swedes have a little rivalry that goes on. They don't like each other. And you have enough respect for Naslund to get his jersey. That's cool. It's awesome. Because it's not about what country they're from. It's about what kind of player they were for our team. I appreciate that. No, the Swedes play soft hockey. Watch. Okay. They literally won 4-2 today. Simonson's injury in the 2011 playoffs left quite a void, right? Sense 18, I don't care as long as they play great and are great players, but here we have Sherwood, a great player, record-breaking hitter and goal scorer, and we don't pay him. I just hate it. Yeah, I understand. I want to keep Sherwood as well. It's a fantastic player. Jack says, usually we are pretty good at drafted. Pretty good at drafted. Problem is for me is that we don't have enough picks to get different players or just depend on guys overdeveloping because we have so little depth usually. That's fair. Settle Down says, coincidence that our hybrid retool, it's called, lines us up with Prime plus UFA Bedard Celebrini for potential one. Guys, I'm all in. Get me Bedard, Celebrini. Bedard is a diehard Canucks fan. Was when he was growing up, for sure. So was Celebrini. The Great Canadian Worker Replacement Program, taxpayers pays half the salary to be replaced. Okay. I don't know what we're talking about here. Canucks will pick Stenberg over McKenna, guaranteed, and maybe that's the right decision. If Sherwood was Swedish, would he get 5 million? No, I don't think it matters. I don't think he matters. Guys, this is what I think about Sherwood, okay? And I like Sherwood. I want Sherwood. Don't get me wrong. I want him there, but he wants 4.5 to 5 million. The Canucks want to pay him 3 to 3.5 million. That's it. He's a third line winger who is very good. Don't get me wrong, but those guys are replaceable. And I know when I say that, people are going to be mad, but they are. It's the Joshuas of the world and those kind of guys, right? It's easier to find a Sherwood than it is to find a top 6 winger. Now, Sherwood last night played on the top line with Pettersson. Guess what? They never scored. So he's played great on the third line. That's what he is. Just like Höglander played awesome on the third line, then got injured and hasn't been the same since. That's why they don't want to pay him. But I think any playoff team would want Sherwood. I would. I love the guy. Do not want to get rid of him. Just how much is too much. McKenna plays soft hockey. That's why his performance hasn't translated well into university. Okay. I'll watch him a little more closely. Team Sweden will get owned by Team Canada and Team USA as usual. Maybe. Let's do a spin on the tankathon. Okay. Bruce says, let's do a spin on the tankathon. No, you know what? I don't know which one to use. So, Olympic officiating is, I'll do that later. Maybe not tonight because we're almost at 50 minutes. Okay. So Mark just texted me, said, oh, Keaton Verhoff is a 6'4", 212-pound right-handed shot defenseman. He's the guy who plays for Canada. He's only 17 years old, guys. That maybe he's the best player available for us. Maybe Stenberg and McKenna go, and we get Verhoff. That would be awesome. Happens to be Canadian. So, Japan Force says, no more Swedes. We need Canadians on this team. I respectfully disagree. Get the best player available. That's it. In the Olympics, yes, but World Junior Sweden has a good chance. Yeah. World Junior Sweden is a very good team. McKenna is soft and points focused, doesn't have the complete game, yet he may come or he may end up McDavid, aka not a winner, but collects points. I want winners. I mean, I would take McDavid any day of the week over any of our players that we've ever had. He's that good. Not that I mean, Burrow is my favorite. Don't get me wrong. Hanguy says the Swedish GM is the problem. He's blinded by the yellow and blue. He might be, but maybe Stenberg's the play this year. Russians, Americans, and Canadian players are the best in the world and will always be better and will always bully Swedes. I think from the past, from now, yes, maybe you can make that argument, but it doesn't mean that's going to happen in the future. I think Swedish players are tough guys. I might as well watch this while I'm putting pressure on my finger cut. Ooh, sorry to hear that you cut your finger. I think Vertainen got screwed over by false allegations and cancel culture, sadly. I don't know the issues to that, so... if the Canucks drop, then you want the center Lawrence. Okay, that's fair. After all these injuries over the last 2 years, we need a big stud guy. Swervin Irvin says Vertanen, Demko, and Tramkin. McCann, Forsling. Yeah. Are we talking about players that we've drafted? Horvat. Oh, so he's saying Horvat, and then you're saying those guys. I was putting away a knife and my finger hit the sharp part of the... Oh, ouch. That stings. Dale says, if Kane and Sherwood leave, where will the team toughness go? Well, it depends on who they replace them with. But right now, it's going to be bad. Simon, in your opinion, how do you think Vancouver should get better with the deals? I think there's a number of trades that they're going to be making. I think there's some trades that are going to happen before the Olympic break, guys, because Rutherford does his trades early. So, yeah, Schneider was the 9th pick overall. Schneider for the 9th pick overall was, and then we picked Horvat. We traded Schneider away, got the 9th pick overall, and picked Bo Horvat. Florida ended up with 3 of the top 4 guys in 2014. Right? There you go. Maybe that's why they won. No guarantee they would have stayed, though. I mean, there's no guarantees on anything. Hindsight 2020, the whole thing, we don't know. It is what it is. The facts are the facts, right? We ain't getting higher than the 6th position. Let's come back down to earth, y'all. No, I think we're going to be in the top. We're getting a top 5 pick, and I'm hoping we're going to get a top 3 pick. Rome says, deep draft in hindsight if Pasta goes 25th. Oh, fact, for sure. There's a lot of busts in there, too. After all those injuries, we need some big, sturdy stud guys. I agree. Sweden hasn't won the gold medal, has won the gold medal twice in the Olympics. That's it. They still have? Can't say they're terrible. They've won it. I disagree, Kevin. There's no doubt we're the worst team in the league. Yeah, I think we're getting a top 3 pick. Speedy, skilled, sturdy. That's why Maholcha's son going to be drafted early. Not many centermen. And he's one. I hear you. I hear you. It doesn't matter if we're the worst team in the league or not. Look at our draft block. Okay, so if we're the worst team in the league, the worst we can get is 3rd or 4th. That's the fact. We've had bad luck with the building around American superstars too. Kessler, Miller, Hughes all quit on the team. Okay. Kessler was getting older. I don't know. Miller, honestly, Ryan Miller's not going to win a Stanley Cup. He didn't win a Stanley Cup after he left Vancouver, right? If I remember correctly. Hughes, guys, he's the best defenseman we've ever had. I gave us 6 amazing years. for dirt cheap too. $7 million, big whoop. Okay, so you'd take him over Tynan. Is that how you say it? The people saying that race nationality doesn't matter are right. I think why people are talking about it is because they currently have an obvious Swedish bias. I'm with you. Talent means nothing in the playoffs. No, it means a lot in the playoffs. It means a lot. It's just that you need grit as well. Bettman's retirement gift to Jim Rutherford is give us Stenberg. There we go. I hate how the Canucks stopped selling the 59.50 hats on Van Base and hold them for all the team shop now. I didn't know that. I don't think it's bad luck with the Americans. It's dysfunctional because our team has sucked. Yeah, I think that's true. Couldn't win with Naslin, Sedins, Sundin. These guys are going to do it. Listen. So let's replace those names. So it's Forsberg, Zetterberg, and Hedman. 3 guys who've won cups. Lidstrom won cups. You can name all of them, right? I get what you're saying. It's not because I'm making it. Dude, you just made it about race. They watched management give the largest contract in franchise history and then watched him underachieve and also watched our players walk because the Canucks could afford to pay them. This is the race comment right here. Swedes play soft hockey. Facts. It's just not true. Peter Forsberg doesn't play soft hockey. Hedman doesn't play soft hockey. Samuelsson didn't play soft hockey, right? I mean, what do you want me to say? I feel like I'm a broken record here. Shannon says I would take any good player being Swedish or anything else. I agree, Shannon. It's not about Canadian team as other teams have mixed. Everyone's got mixed rosters. Ryan says the last impactful Swede that won a cup was Karlsson, Landskog, Zetterberg, and Backstrom. All good players. Some of them were great. Landskog was great, and he's come back from a major injury, still lightening it up. Zetterberg was great. Backstrom, I think, was pretty good. Yeah, Finland shuts out Latvia 8-0 while Canada struggles with Latvia. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. Crazy. Okay. Jazz Chan says, just jumped in, not sure where you're at. I find some Canuck fans feel we have too many Swedes. Some say Swedes are not enough. I'm okay with having more Swedes. Just give me whoever's down. That's exactly what we've been talking about. Sedin is Swedish for punch me in the face. Okay, let's just go back for a second and saying that I'm making it race. And you said this. Just saying. Okay, so I've enjoyed this conversation tonight. There's so many comments, I can't get to them. There's just way too many. Thank you so much for being here. 146 people here. It's 11:17 p.m. And yeah, it's been great having you all here talking about this conversation. So the big question is, right? Do the Canucks need more Swedish players on the roster? The answer is yes, if they're difference makers. And Stenberg might be the guy you want to draft over anybody else. That's a real possibility. So watch the World Juniors, see how they do, see how he plays. I'm telling you, his stock is rising if it hasn't been higher. I'll tell you right now for free. Like Stenberg is a top 3 consensus pick everywhere. So it's really cool to see. We'll see what happens. Now, will I be upset if we get Gavin McKenna? Absolutely not. Verhoff, no, I'd be happy to have him as well. Future's bright with those kids. So don't forget, hit the like and subscribe, everyone. Like I always say, I love making Canucks content. It's passionate, realistic, and honest. I love having Canuck conversations. I think this is really interesting. Well, it's been a slice. I got to go to bed. I got to go to work tomorrow. Hopefully most of you have this week off. I do not. I just have the first off. So have a great night. By the way, two games next to tomorrow. We play Seattle in Seattle, and Philadelphia is in town Tuesday night on the 30th. That's going to be interesting to see how this Canucks team does. We'll see how it goes. So have a good night. Believe in blue. Go Canucks go. Thanks for coming out.